follow-up questions and would like to learn more about the University of Warwick. So this just gives you an idea of some of the topics that I will cover. I will also leave some time for questions as well. So if you do have any in particular that you'd like me to cover, or you have anything that you particularly burning that you'd like to know more about before the end of today's session, then please do let me know, and we can cover those at the end of the session too. So yes, so as a very brief introduction, the University of Warwick was established in 1965 as part of a UK government initiative to expand higher education provision in the UK. It is in the centre of England, and I will come on to location shortly, but we are a full campus university, with land granted by local councils to gift new Warwickshire universities. So that if anybody who is remotely aware of kind of UK geography, then Warwickshire is a county in England, and it is in the centre of the country. So the university had land gifted and was founded as a result of that. Now, we are quite a young university in comparison to some of our other UK compatriots, but although we are young, we are mighty, and we have come a very long way since those 60 years, and we are already challenging other universities in the UK and globally that are hundreds of years older than us. The UK, as you may already be aware, has a long-standing reputation of world-class academia and opportunities available for international students who study with us on our campuses across the UK. And although we are a mere baby in age, we are right up there with some of those world-leading universities that you may have heard of in the UK, that are much older than us. And so although we're young, you'll definitely have those opportunities available with you at the University of Warwick, with us on our campus. We do promote excellence in teaching and research, and we are one of the UK's leading research universities, which does feed into some of the opportunities and the funding grants that are available to students as a result of the ranking and the reputation that we have for those courses and for those opportunities for students at the university. This just gives an idea of some of the rankings that we have currently. One thing I will say is that they don't mean everything, and so they are a useful guide rather than kind of a benchmark, I guess. And each university does use them differently, so do consider that when you're looking at your options. But we are a UK top 10 university, and we have been consistently UK top 10 since the UK rankings certainly were established. And so that is something that has been consistent for us for a number of years now, that presence in the top 10 in the UK. We are also in the world's top 100 as an institution, by the QS World Rankings as well. So for a university that is young, our rankings are impressive, and that is in a large part to the teaching, the research, and the collaborations that we have at the institution across a wide range of departments, and those different strengths and the focuses in academia that we lead on, and are world leading as part of our teaching at the university, that our students, certainly at postgraduate, whether that is masters or research, are open to and available to take part in too. We are ranked gold for student experience, student outcomes, and the overall university for the teaching excellence framework in 2020. So a UK ranking, but overall we are somewhere that values exceptional thinking. You will be learning from the world's best in a lot of our academic departments, and so you really will have an opportunity to engage with them, share your thoughts with them on their passions and their subject areas, and really do have those opportunities to kind of be involved in those leading conversations in that sphere that you're interested in, regardless of the subject area that you're looking at studying and joining. So if you are an analytical, critical thinker, and you're willing to challenge both established norms and also some of those questions that have been long-standing, then the University of Warwick is certainly somewhere that you can consider as an option for you as well. I was having a look at this information this morning, actually, and one thing that I think really stands out for us here at the university is that the institution itself is 74th, as we saw previously, but we have lots of excellence across lots of our departments, and that is no mean feat. It's not an easy thing to achieve for different departments in different faculties to be so well established. So we have three faculties at the university. We have our Faculty of Arts, Faculty of Social Science, and STEM, so Science, Engineering, and Medicine. And I just wanted to share kind of a spotlight, I guess, on some of the rankings for those departments, which is different to the university's overall rankings. Typically, we see applications for students from the US in lots of these fields. And so if you weren't already aware, then hopefully this gives you an insight into the strength that we have across those three faculties. It's a question I get asked really, really regularly. What are we well known for? And these are the world rankings. They're not kind of the UK and the European rankings are listed separately, as you can see, but they are global, and it's really hard to distinguish or differentiate as to which one we are well known for, because we have quite a few in the world top 40 here as their own academic departments and on their own merit, and so it's not just one area. We've got multiple different areas where we are genuinely world leading and asking those world leading questions, and have that research led teaching and that focus on the opportunities available to the students that then leads into employability and the reputation that our students have with employers post graduation, all feeds back into these rankings as well for these academic departments. And so you really will be having those opportunities as part of the classroom experience with us at the University of Warwick. Now, I did say I'd mention our location. For anyone who isn't aware of geography in the UK, this will hopefully help. The University of Warwick is in the city of Coventry. Now, Warwick is a place in the UK. Some of you, if you've ever travelled to the UK before, you may have visited. It has a very old castle, medieval castle. They still do jousting tournaments summer, although I hope not today. It's 35 degrees here today, so Celsius, so it's very warm. But they do have lots of medieval celebrations there. The university is in the city of Coventry, which is about 15-20 minutes away from Warwick, but is within the West Midlands area of England. Now, Midlands being middle, as you can see in the map, we are in the centre of England rather than the centre of the UK, but right in the centre of England, and really well located geographically wise for exploring the rest of the UK. I'm from Birmingham, which is 20 minutes by train from Coventry, and really well located. And my favourite thing about living in the Midlands is that it doesn't take long to get anywhere else in the rest of the UK. So if you're looking for a wider kind of UK experience while you're studying, which a lot of our students do take advantage of, then being in the middle is the best place to be for that exact reason. As I mentioned, we are 20 minutes from Birmingham, which is the UK's second city. It's 1 hour by train to London from Coventry, and that is a direct train from Coventry city centre, so you're not far at all, and that is central London that the train takes you to. It's 2 hours to Manchester. You can reach Oxford, Cambridge, Cardiff, Bristol, Brighton. You can get to Edinburgh by train, Glasgow. So you really can explore all of the UK from Coventry, and it's for a really decent price too. So it's a great opportunity if you're looking for somewhere that's not the capital, that isn't quite so busy, but you have that full campus experience with an opportunity to be connected to the rest of the UK, then Coventry is certainly a great place to be and a great place to start and consider that. Now, the university itself is, in UK terms, a medium-sized campus. I think for lots of US students or US-based students, when I speak to them, they are surprised at the number, 33,000, but that is a medium-sized UK university, and we have around 10,000 international students, so around 1/3 of our population is international. That diversity is something that is incredibly important to us, and we know that our students really value and and thrive upon while they're with us for their university experiences. Diversity is essential, and the one word that our students use to describe their Warwick experience is community, and it really is a community feel, both in terms of the campus itself and the environment and the surroundings that our students have, but also the friendships that they make and establish, both in terms of their peers in their classroom, their accommodation, but also the relationships they develop with the academic staff. Quite often when I speak to students, it's the level of support that they receive from the academic tutors and the support staff in their academic department that really make them feel at home at the university. And so know that for postgraduate students, that is essential, and quite often critical, especially if you're looking at your dissertation, or you have areas of research that you want to go into. You really do need to build that connection and that link. And so community is something that is really important to us, and you will find that certainly at the University of Warwick campus too. Now, one of the things that is equally important is the development of academic spaces that are available to our students. One thing that we really do pride ourselves on is asking our students what they want and for their feedback for what they want from their university experiences. When we asked our students recently in the recent survey, it was light, bright spaces to do collaborative work on. Coffee was also in the list, so there's a coffee shop in every building, unsurprisingly. But also the chance to work collaboratively and have those opportunities to really engage in those conversations and have that work available to them. And so this is how we develop our spaces for our students. The photographs here that you can see, just an example, one is our business school, which is the top left. The top right is our interdisciplinary biomedical research building, the IBRB. I have to say very slowly in case I mistake it. But that is a beautiful building for our medical school and our life science students. And then we have our engineering facilities as well, just in the bottom pictures there. As you can see, lots of natural light, lots of brightness, and that is something that we really pride ourselves on. They are stunning spaces. I really enjoy my time when I'm working on campus, feel for where students are, and these are something that is really important to us. One of the other things that I think is important to note as well is that for our postgraduate student community, lots of our academic departments have common rooms that students can go into and have kind of downtime between your lectures, or maybe early evening before you go home. If you're between lectures and things like that, that's an opportunity that you have in the common room, and they are available just to postgrad students. So it's an access card that you use to get in between the rooms and the buildings. So you can meet other students from within your departments, which is always very popular. But the other one is our postgraduate hub. And that is a completely separate building on campus, and it is in central campus, and that is just for postgraduate students to meet each other, to have some space to have lunch. There are kitchen facilities, so if you need to prepare lunch, if you've got a long day, you can have that. There's locker spaces, there's working places, there's things that you can do to get groups together. So if you have a social that you have plans for, a birthday celebration, that's just for our postgraduate students. And for some of our alumni, when I've spoken to them, the junction is actually, that was their favourite place on campus, because they met friends that they've got for life from other departments who they might not met if they had not gone into the junction. And so there's opportunities to network, not just within your department, but also across the university itself, are important to us. We know they're important to you. And so we really do concentrate on building those and nurturing those conversations and those connections for you, so that you can carry them forward into the next phase of your academic journey with us, or with your peers too. And I mentioned briefly as well about our community. I did mention that it was diverse. As I mentioned, 1/3 of our students are international, and that is represented by over 145 different nationalities. So it's not as though there's 10,000 international students, but half of them are from one place. It is genuinely diverse, and that is the same in lots of our academic departments. You will be meeting like-minded students from across the world who have the same interests, who have the same questions, of our academic peers, and you will be really able to kind of nurture those conversations and engage with those conversations and opportunities as part of your program at the university, and yeah, who knows, maybe develop those further into the kind of next stages of your academic careers. Now, what we offer is so as a member of the Russell Group of UK universities, which are a group, for those who don't know, a group of 24 research-focused universities in the UK. Most of our teaching is research-led, and I mentioned that at the beginning, but that is from day one. It is all research-focused and research-intensive, so that is brought into the way we teach and how we engage with our students as well. So we do offer innovative learning. There are multiple different ways that we cover that. We often have cross subject boundaries in those academic areas. So although you may be based in one academic department for your masters, it might be that you have optional modules available across a number of different areas that allow you to take a subject or a key kind of focus area and look at it from multiple different options. And so that's one of the things with the collaboration across those subject disciplines, the interdisciplinary nature of a lot of the world's kind of focus and challenges at the moment are something that we look at from a multiple different range of options and different areas. So one area is design and innovation. We have AI. Sustainability is another really big one for us here at the University of Warwick. And we look at those from a range of different areas. So we may look at it from a political perspective, economical perspective, chemical. So there's a chemistry degree available for sustainability. We have a sustainable development department. We look at it historically. We look at it from a business perspective. So there's a whole range of different areas that we cover and really allow you to look at those holistically across that area of interest that you have for you as well. I mentioned the innovative learning. There are ranges of teaching methods available at the university, and that is something that we've really kind of developed at pace in the last 5 years. We know that not everybody learns from taking an exam or writing an essay. They aren't the only ways that we can assess students anymore. And so these are the range of the teaching methods and studies that are available at the university. It is important to note that if you do consider us, then do check which ones are available in your academic department, as they may not all be available depending on the course. But these are certainly areas that we focus on. You will have interactive seminars. We do encourage you to think critically. So for seminars in particular, you'll be asked to do some pre-reading and you'll come into the room and say, what were your thoughts? And quite often that's the whole hour. That's the conversation between you and your peers. What is it that you thought and what do you bring to the conversation? And sometimes that is a method of assessment for some departments, is how you engage in those conversations. So if you are someone who is very passionate about what you are learning and what you want to study and focus on at master's level, then absolutely you will have those with us here at the university, and you could even be involved in some of the research too, as part of the research-driven element of that teaching that we have. You will be exposed to that as part of your course. It's really difficult, I appreciate, to know or to kind of get a sense of where I'm talking about without seeing it visually. And so I've included this picture. This is a bird's eye view of the university campus, and would look very similar to this today. This was taken recently, but not today, but beautiful day. And one of the things that I love most about our campus is its adaptability and its green space. We are incredibly lucky that we have so much open space on our campus. We have 700 acres across our campus, so there's lots of spaces for students to gather, particularly at this time of year with this weather. You'll see them having picnics on the grass. They'll be playing football or just getting together, really. So there's lots and lots of space for you to be able to do that. I'm not sure if you can see my cursor. I'm going to hope that you can, but just to give you an idea of where things are. So this is most of central campus that's shown in the picture. We have our arts centre here, which has an art gallery inside. There are 3 cinema screens, and there's a concert hall. So there's lots of public shows that take place here, all available on campus for students throughout the year. There and the cinemas, the cinema screens, the film, do show recent movies, so you can go and see it on campus with some friends, or by yourself, of course. If you have an interest in those, that's available on campus. We have our business school just in the background here. The central campus part here is the student union, so that is also where our grocery store is. This over here, just to the left of the screen at the top, is our sports hub. And so that is brand new, which I'll come on to shortly. This building here, right in the middle, is the Faculty of Arts building. It is our most recent building on campus. It's around 4 years old. Beautiful building. It did win a Midlands Design of the Year award for the Architecture Awards and was shortlisted for the final for National. It's a beautiful place if anybody is interested in the arts. And then this here is accommodation all through here, but we have our health centre on campus too. And yeah, lots and lots of different spaces, different areas for you to kind of enjoy and get involved. So yes, very open, very clean, very green, very safe as well. It is an open campus, so there's no kind of security checkpoints or anything like that other than in the accommodation. And for some of the laboratories in the science areas, it is just a student card that gets you in. I can't get into all of them because I'm not in the department, but it is a very open and very safe space. So yeah, lots of ways to relax and enjoy nature here with us at the university. As I mentioned, our campus is kind of all encompassing. So we have our health centre, there are laundrettes available, there's pharmacy, there's a nightclub on campus, bars, restaurants, coffee, as I mentioned, in every building, the convenience store, so the grocery store, lots of things to keep you busy on the campus throughout your kind of journey with us at the university. We do also have over 300 student-run sports clubs and societies that are offered through the union. So if you have a sport that you would like to keep up, or if you have one that you'd like to try new and keep fit, there are lots and lots of ones that you can join. Similarly with our societies, they range from the academic, so each academic department has a society, all the way through to gaming. So I just saw here Minecraft. There's also a Mahjong society. Formula One has a society. Taylor Swift, so music. If you play an instrument and you want to continue, you can. There's literally hundreds that you can join and be part of. So you are, of course, more than welcome to join as many as you can handle in your timetable and your schedule. But we do encourage postgrad students because it is a great way of meeting people and making the most of your time while you're at the university, if you can. For anybody interested in sport, as I mentioned, we do have the Sports and Wellness Hub on campus, and that is a new investment that has been made in the last 3 years at the university, including that new gym in the sports hub. It has a swimming pool, there's a sauna and steam, there's over 100 fitness classes per week. You can sign up as well through the app for physical activity sessions, so you can try a new sport, you can learn new skills as part of that. Climbing wall, squash courts, and actually, one of my favourite facts is from 4 years ago, though, we had a tournament hosted in England, which was the Commonwealth Games, which is very similar to the Pan American Games in the US for you guys. It was held in Birmingham and on campus because we're not far from Birmingham in Coventry, the wider area. We hosted some of the international athletes on campus. So they lived in our dorms. They used our facilities to warm up and train before they went to do their competitions. So yes, not only was it a very diverse and a very vibrant campus during the Commonwealth Games, the facilities are such that international athletes have used them and made the most of them. So yeah, if sports your thing, then there's options there as well. Accommodation, I know, is a key question for lots of our students, and some of the students I've been speaking to this year who are joining us this September. For our postgrad students, and this is a combined slide, but I'll just mention postgraduate students. We have a very small number of rooms available on campus. The vast majority of our postgraduate community do live off campus, but we do help you through that process. So there is a student pad that you can look out for properties on. There are also partner accommodations that you can use when you're living off campus. So you can have a look at those. Some of those can vary in the type. So some of them are purpose-built student accommodation, where it will be very similar to what we have on campus, and you kind of have your own room and your own space there. Or it's a house share, which is very typical in the UK. You would have a room, but you share the kitchen and the bathroom facilities with your housemates. It could be two, it could be four, it could be six. It varies by size, but those are the two main types of accommodation, and these are the areas that students live in. Mostly the city centre and Earlston, which is only 3 to 4 miles away. The vast majority of our students live in Royal Leamington Spa, which is a beautiful Georgian town that is about 20 minutes by bus from the centre of campus. So really not very far at all, and is a beautiful place for students to enjoy kind of in the evenings, and at weekends it's vibrant. It's mostly Warwick. It's a home away from home for students and staff there as well. In terms of the university support systems and the support mechanisms, we know that there will be some cultural differences between home and the UK for you. As I mentioned, we are a global community and experience, so you will get support all the way through your journey with us. So from today, even if you do want to reach out, that will be me all the way through to enrolment. And I can put you in touch with the relevant kind of departments if you would like to speak to them ahead of you arriving in the UK and with us at Warwick. But even when you're with us, we have our wellbeing and support team. There is the international office. We have our visa and student advice team. There are rooms and spaces as well as available as well where you can just go and sit and just be, and they are available throughout the year, and your academic support departments as well. So you will have an academic tutor who will support you throughout your academic journey with us, based in the department for you to go to as much or as little as you need for that part of your journey as well with us. So there is that support there. So please don't feel like you'll be alone. There is somebody here in your corner here to help you through every step of the way with us here at Warwick. Just to give you an idea of what you can expect from postgrad study, certainly at Warwick, but kind of in the UK in more general terms, we know that our master's courses are 1 year or 12 months in length, and our PhD is typically 4 years. That is shorter than we know that most schools have certainly in the US and Canada and North America. So it is different, and it is quite an intense year of study, but you do get a master's that is internationally recognised and comparable globally once you have finished that 12 months. So your first 7 to 8 months, so October to about now, would be your classes, and then a research project is over the summer vacation. So your dissertation, it could be a project, it could be group work. It depends on the department and the course, but these are opportunities that are available. And assessment can vary by department. So as I mentioned when I was talking about assessment, that is something just to bear in mind when you're looking at what suits you best. But we are very transparent in the UK about what we're asking for, what we expect from our students, and what you will be taught as well. So all of this information is available on our website, and you will be able to see the list of modules, the kind of different opportunities that you will have, and how you will learn as part of that experience, all available on our website as well. So yeah, just to give you an insight into that there. Now, I know that a big part of your consideration is funding, which is obviously why we're here today with Marshall. And Marshall is an option, but we do know that, of course, there will be lots of you who would like to consider other options just in case that you need a backup plan from the Marshall Scholarship. There is something that's called the Postgraduate Funding Guide, we highly recommend you have a look. So if you search for that in your search engine, then you will be able to have a look and see which different funding opportunities are available. It could be that there are small kind of scholarships available or bursaries that are available to cover certain elements of your studies. So we do encourage students to have a look there in the first instance. For us at Warwick specifically, we do have a list of our scholarships available on our web pages. So this is the page here, but can also share that in the chat or after the session. If you'd like to know more and receive that link, just drop me a message and I can share that with you. That's no problem. We have our full scholarships list available. What I will say is that for some of our departments, they do vary. So there aren't many that are available which are fully funded in a similar way that Marshall is, but there are some that will offer partial scholarships. Some of them might be automatic. Some of them they will assess you at the point of application. Some of them you have to apply early, receive an offer, and then submit an application for the scholarship. So do have a read into those in advance. We always encourage early application if you want to be considered for a scholarship, because once they're awarded, then they're gone. So do consider that when you're thinking about your application timelines and where you'd like to be based and see that information. One thing that I thought it was worth highlighting as well, just in case anybody is here who has students interested or you yourself are interested in a PhD, we at Warwick are incredibly lucky and fortunate that we have some fantastic research areas that our academics are looking into and kind of working on. And as a result of that, we have a great number of scholarship opportunities available for PhDs. They vary across the departments. So for the bottom one on the list here, which is the ESRC, so the Research Council and the Doctoral Training College, or the Doctoral Training Centre, sorry. They have lots of opportunities within specific departments, and they typically tend to be available in STEM or the social sciences, but it is worth having a look and seeing. Some of them might be available in classics, or sometimes it's history available too. So it depends on the research council as to where some of that money is distributed, but it's certainly something to consider and bear in mind. Some of them, it might be the home fees that they cover, because there's a separate list between the home and the international fee, but some of them might be fully funded, and that includes a stipend too. So do have a look at those for the individual departments. Some departments post job vacancies for research, and you'll be paid for supporting the department alongside that research. So that's an option. And the other one that I wanted to flag is the Chancellor's International. And that one is unique to Warwick. So that is our award. And we have, this year, we had 42 fully funded scholarships available for students studying PhDs at the University of Warwick, across all departments. So some of the awards might have been in the arts. So I've mentioned classics. It could be in the Centre for the Study of Renaissance. It could be life sciences. It could be politics, philosophy, you name it. So there's lots available there as well. And students, it's a very successful programme. And students can also apply for that one. If you're on your first year of a PhD, you can still apply for the Chancellors, which might cover the remainder of your year's tuitions as well. So it's not just a before you enter and that's it. You can enroll for the first year and apply while you're studying with us as well. So that's just something I wanted to raise and bear in mind as well for you. Now, one of the things that I know I mentioned at the beginning of the session was about employability. We know increasingly that for students, the employability and the success of a university for your employability is something that is critical for you. In the UK in 2026, the graduates from Warwick were the fourth most targeted in the by the UK's top 100 graduate employers. It is an incredibly tough list and a really impressive list of graduate employers. Our students are fantastic at what they do and what they achieve, and they are the fourth most targeted, which means that if you asked those top 100 employers who they wanted, Warwick students come fourth on that list. It's not just what we teach you in terms of the content of your course, it's how we teach you. It's the skills that you will learn in the classroom. It's how to make yourself more employable and have those interchangeable skills once you reach the job market, that really does stand out for those employers, and is something that is highly regarded both in the UK but also internationally as well. One of the things that we do see is, of course, because we have a diverse student body, it does mean that we have alumni across the world. And so these are some of the employers that our students go on to work for across a range of different jobs. So they're not all specific in one particular area. It could be a range of different things. But yeah, just some opportunities there I wanted to highlight. And that is support that you will have throughout your journey here at the university from our careers team. You will get tailored career guidance from our careers team and within the student opportunity department here at the university, and they will design it specifically for international students. One of the things that I always find really important to highlight and stress is that we value our students before you even enroll with us. And so one session was today actually, and I hosted one 2 weeks ago. We host webinars for incoming students before you've enrolled. So today's one was navigating the UK labour market. There's one about international employability, and there's one for setting yourself up for success as an offer holder. So they are happening now, before you've enrolled, before you've gone through all those final stages, and that's something that not many UK universities do and offer, but we know is incredibly valuable to our students. And so you can sign up for those, you can receive those recordings, and engage in those conversations. And we are seeing an increasing number of students attend those webinars because they are so valuable. And that's the level of importance that our careers team place on the opportunities our students have. So you will have that dedicated support from our careers team throughout your time with us at the university. They have over 85 members of staff in the Student Opportunity Department, and there are 15 careers consultants with specialisms in particular areas. So one might be finance, one might be engineering, one might be psychology, one could be law. So they focus not on a particular job, but a particular kind of study or work field, I guess. So they are available for you as much or as little as you would like to engage with them. You don't have to. Nobody makes you. But the more you engage, the more you will get out of it. And I have heard them say that to our students as well. So they want to see you, they want to help you and be there to support you as well through your journey. And so these are just some numbers that you can gauge. So there are over 2,500 students who attend careers appointments. We have over 11,000 attend careers fairs and events and workshops that happen on campus. There's research scholarship schemes, there's co-peer kind of support that you can offer, and there is also a Warwick Award as well for students who want to kind of engage with that as well, as part of the journey there. We host 10 careers fairs a year on campus. You can go to as many or as few as you would like to. I went to one in October. I happened to be on campus on the same day, so I went along, and it was brilliant. They were really engaging, both the students and the employers. Were really happy to kind of chat to each other, find out about the opportunities that they had for each other, and really kind of see what different jobs there are, particularly in areas that you may not have thought of. We had McLaren and Red Bull were on campus. So with our location in the UK, we are on the northern point of the Formula One triangle in the UK, or certainly in England. And they came onto campus. But it's not just engineers that they are looking for. They look actively for social science and art students as well in different job areas. So go along, have a look and see what opportunities they have, see what might take your fancy, what kind of careers you weren't aware of that existed. Go along and have a look, and you'll be pleasantly surprised, I think. But we do curate those opportunities for you to connect with employers, with that sector, and really start that employability piece very early so that you can have those opportunities as well, through your course, so you're ready as soon as you graduate to go straight into that employment opportunity as well. And yeah, they deliver alumni talks and panels. We have skill sessions and things as well. So it's not just the careers fairs, it is also kind of sector specific events for you to help with those those areas that you may be interested in and developing so that you are career ready as soon as you've graduated. And that is me. I have kept relatively to time, which I'm pleased with. I did want to make sure that I left enough time for questions. So if anybody has any, please do feel free to share them in the chat. Or if you'd like to ask a question, then please do let me know. I will share links and things afterwards if anybody needs them. And I'm happy to share some in the chat now if we need to. This QR code should take you to a sign-up sheet where you can find out more information about the university, and you will get departmental specific information from your area of interest, or if you are an advisor and you'd like to just receive updates from me, just drop me a message and we can sort those. But yeah, I'll leave it there for now and see if we have any questions. But thank you so much everyone for joining.
Just ask a question.
Hi, Carson.
Hey, so first of all, thank you. So it's nice to see a university that's younger than ours because we're 80 years old here at Rutgers in Newark. It doesn't happen very often in the UK. And thank you also for really getting to the point of what should make this attractive for a Marshall applicant, rather than just kind of an broad international recruitment. I think I really appreciated that. I'm kind of curious, I ask this of just about everyone who does these presentations. What is an area, or what is something where you'd say, if I was working with a student, I imagine someone's like, this student should look no further than the University of Warwick. Like,
Yeah.
don't look at anything else. This Warwick should be your number one priority.
Okay. So we have a number of particular areas that we really excel in. I know that certainly for students in the US, mathematics and statistics is incredibly strong. I would also say finance, political economy, international political economy is very good. And then we also have a really strong creative writing department as well. So we have seen some really high success in I think it's literary practice and creative writing. So it depends on the department or the kind of the faculty that they're interested in. But I guess, yeah, we typically see students, certainly from the US, maths, statistics, finance, and political economy.
I'm so glad you said political economy, because I actually had a young man who's very, very bright and very talented who mentioned that. And we don't hear that very often from students. Like, I'm interested in studying the political economy. So
yeah, I think that's no problem. I mean, actually, our politics and international studies department is incredibly diverse in depth and talent, not just for teaching, but for the students that are there. And a lot of our students who do an undergrad stay for a postgrad, and then actually a lot of our master's students stay for their PhD because of the specialisms that they offer in the department. They are incredibly detailed. And so, yeah, international political economy, the politics of climate change is a new one that we've recently offered. So they are very specific courses that we offer, but it's for that exact reason. There's no, like a master's level, you want that deeper specialization, and so yeah, there's quite a few of those available.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Christina, did I see you had a question earlier?
Oh, yeah, thanks. Just what kind of guidance would you give to a current rising senior in the States looking to work at a research master's with a faculty member in regards to reaching out? What would be appropriate? What would be inappropriate?
Yeah, very good question. So I guess the first thing I would say is for research masters, Certainly on our web pages, we will quite often mention whether the department are happy to receive emails in, or the supervisors are happy to receive emails in advance for kind of research themes. What we tend to see is that for PhDs, that is much more common. So if a student is doing a full PhD, then absolutely go find a supervisor in that particular area of study, and the website will tell you, or the department pages will tell you, please do reach out to us. Now is the best time to do it, before they go on study leave for the summer. Uh, so anything in July and August, full disclosure, is unlike I'm in campus, but it will not be read. So now is a very good time to have those conversations ahead of applications for September, October. One thing that we have certainly at Warwick is that we have some departments who are the opposite and they don't want you to do that. So some of them that spring to mind, maths, they assign a supervisor when students enroll. The business school, economics, it's possibly one other, but they say the same, but they do say on the pages, please don't contact supervisors. We will assign you one when you want to come to us. I think for an MA by research or an MSc by research, or like a Master of Research, then I would say check the department pages. Yeah. So if there's that particular area, it should say on the department pages. It will vary by university, but because it's only, I mostly, reach out to them typically.
Right. Yeah, no, and I'm glad you gave us a heads up about certain fields. Do not reach out. I might find one of those pages where it specifically says that as an example for a student to really do their homework with the individual field.
I'm happy to share it. I mean, one of them, I will find it actually. They have it in block capitals, just to really put the point home.
So if you reach out, you obviously didn't do your homework.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
No worries. I thought I saw another hand. Was it Salman?
Yeah, I did have a question, but actually, it was already answered. I was going to ask about reaching out. So, yeah, thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. And similarly, just in that vein, actually, as well, whether it's advisors or students, or a combination of both, if you're ever unsure, and I mean, I was going to say Warwick specific, but actually, if it's UK in general, do reach out to me. I'm happy to kind of have a look and point you in the right direction. I know the web pages are substantive, and it's hard to know where to look if you don't know where to start. So yeah, just reach out, and I'm more than happy to help kind of point you in the right direction for that information. Costa?
Oh, I just remember one thing, and I was distracted a little bit while you were presenting, so I don't know if you covered it. But you mentioned accommodations in the UK term, but what we usually tend to call housing. But it also reminded me, because I used to work with students with disabilities. Do you have a process for that, and what would a student who would come there for, who may request student disability accommodations?
Yeah, we absolutely do. Yeah, so that would go directly to our accommodation team typically, and they will assess it with them. So the student will declare quite often in the application form if they have any. The admissions team don't see it. It goes straight to the wellbeing support and the accessibility team at the university. They will check and see and make sure that we can accommodate, because obviously we want to, and then there'll be conversations with them and the accommodation team to make sure that we can kind of make those adjustments, and if we can't, whether there's a partner accommodation that can, and see kind of what those opportunities and those placements do look like. So yeah, the team are very used to helping students with accessible needs. And whether that's physical or otherwise, that is something that is considered, and yeah, we do look at.
And documentation from an American health provider would be accepted?
That's a very good question, actually. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think sometimes if a student declares it, they may not necessarily ask, but I'm happy to find out if you'd like me to.
Okay. That'd be good. It comes across. I come across it sometimes, and students have a lot of questions, and it's a difficult subject to answer if you're not familiar with the process.
Yeah, of course. And as well, especially as advisors, you know the students so well, but it's really hard when they have lots of different places in mind that what the processes are for each of those. So, yeah, it's a lot.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
No problem. Just while we have a little bit of time, Stephanie, if that's okay, I just wanted to check, were there any questions that anybody had for any content that wasn't covered in the presentation? I tried to kind of cover most things, but I know it's difficult to cover if anybody has any kind of topics or areas that you might kind of want. I mean, I could cover kind of timelines just very briefly on applications, just so people are aware. But typically in the UK, applications for 2027 entry will open in September or October. So we open in the fall for the following fall for entry. I mentioned in the scholarship section that if you would like to be considered for a scholarship, then do apply early. Obviously, you do need to consider the Marshall deadlines as well. So have those in mind. And certainly on our application form, we will ask you if you are considering applying for a scholarship and do mention Marshall. For postgraduate tour applications, there is an application assessment fee, but if you are applying for Marshall, that will be waived. And similar with any other fully funded scholarships. So do mention those, and that application fee will be waived by our team. But yeah, early applications are encouraged, but it can obviously most of them are rolling applications. The only thing to consider for anybody for economics, psychology, and I want to say statistics maybe, they do what we call gathered fields. And so they have groups. So anybody between September and December gets a decision in January. Anybody from January to March gets a decision in April. So always worth checking those out as well before you apply, just in case. Christina?
Yeah, just since you touched on that topic, the University of Warwick has a Fulbright as well, right?
Yes.
A Fulbright spot. And would that application fee then be waived for that opportunity?
Exactly the same. Yeah.
Okay. And are you familiar with any of the more recent Fulbrighters who've been to Warwick?
So we've had quite a diverse range, actually. Do you mean in terms of backgrounds or kind of courses they go on to?
Exactly. Yes. The fields of study. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've had one for chemistry. This year we've got someone for economics. They're joining us this September. We've previously had students for history. So it's really quite varied.
All over the map. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's one of the things that just to kind of come full circle, but we do have a lot of strengths in those different areas. And so, yeah, there's not one particular area that US students go into or even the awards go into. It is quite varied, which is nice. It's good.
And probably speaking for the rest of my colleagues, we see students who are applying for Marshall, and one of the institutions is Warwick. They're going to also then apply to Fulbright as another opportunity.
Yeah.
So we see kind of that double applying there.
Yeah, I see it this side. Yeah. Perfect.
All right. Oh, I think we might have one more question.
One more?
So
Sure.
Sorry, I'll keep it brief. So I'm interested in the top masters in economics,
Sure.
but with a specific focus in the quantitative side of things.
Okay.
And so I was reading through some of the faculty profiles and found some faculty that were doing research that really was like it was in line with my own areas of interest. And so I was thinking of reaching out to them. But I'm wondering sort of what is the how much collaboration takes place in a top masters between the students and the faculty? Is there much, or is it not really? Or
So there is some. One of the things that so you will have them because you'd have your supervisor, but also the kind of tutors for each of those modules. There's less than what would be on a PhD. The other thing that if you have particular areas in that is in the area that you mentioned, or that interest for the areas you've mentioned, we do also have an MWes leading to PhD at Warwick that is fully funded as well. And you don't need a master's to go on to that. And so that is so that's a 6-year course in total. But that does have really specialized links with the supervisors. So that is something to bear in mind. So that might be another option if you are looking at research long term. That could be an option as well.
got it. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
And just to highlight Elizabeth's comment that was one that specifically said do not contact.
The business school, yeah. Absolutely. Thank you very much for sharing.
Lovely. Any more for any more? No? Well, Rachel's very kindly put her email address into the chat box, so please do keep a hold of that if you have any further questions, or if a moment of motivation strikes you just after you sign off, which is usually when I have my moments of brilliance and questions as well. So yeah, Rachel, thank you so much for this wonderful presentation and for being so amenable to answering so many questions and to sort of being able to provide a sector-wide perspective as well. It's really invaluable, particularly for our audiences from abroad. So I appreciate it. All right, everyone. Well, yeah, well, thank you guys very much for your time today. And we will be posting the video as per our usual process, and also look forward to catching up with many of you at future Marshall Mondays. So yeah, have a lovely afternoon and thank you again, and speak soon, everyone. Bye.
See you. Thanks for coming. Bye.